Once she moves out of the way, grab them. I had 30 minutes left on lunch when I stopped at the grocery store by work. Just needed creamer because we ran out and maybe something easy for dinner. This store has giant arrows on the floor showing which way you're supposed to go down each aisle. I actually follow them because I'm already anxious enough without feeling like I'm breaking the rules. This woman in business clothes and her husband kept going the wrong direction. First time was the cereal aisle. She had her cart diagonal across the entire thing, reading ingredients on a granola box. I waited because there was literally no space to squeeze by. She glanced up and snapped, "Can you go around?" in this tone like I was being ridiculous. The arrow on the floor pointed straight at her. I mumbled sorry anyway and backed up to take the long way. Frozen foods, same thing. Pasta aisle, same thing. Every single time she acted personally offended that I existed in her path. Her husband just followed her around staring at his phone, pushing the cart wherever she pointed. I could feel my face getting hot, but I kept stepping aside because I didn't want to make a scene. Baking aisle was the fourth time. I saw them coming the wrong way again and moved over before she could say anything. Then I heard her tell her husband, "Oh, perfect. They still have the salted caramel and dark chocolate. Once she moves out of the way, grab them." She said it at normal volume. She wanted me to hear, like I was furniture blocking her path instead of an actual person trying to shop. I looked where she was pointing. 2 bottles of fancy dessert sauce on the shelf, the kind in glass bottles that cost way too much. I had zero use for them, but my hand just reached out and grabbed both before I could think about it. I dropped them in my basket and kept walking. Behind me I heard, "Excuse me, I was getting those." I turned around and smiled. "Oh, sorry." The aisle was pretty crowded. Her face went red, but I was already heading to checkout. My hands shook while I paid because I hate confrontation, but I also felt amazing. I forgot about it completely until 4 days later when my manager Ashley asked me to come to a conference room. Her expression made my stomach drop immediately. She closed the door and said, "Someone filed a complaint about you. Do you know anyone in accounting?" I had no idea what she was talking about until she explained. A woman from the 4th floor accounting team told HR I harassed her at the grocery store near the office. She claimed I followed her around the store, intimidating her, and then aggressively stole items she was trying to buy. She said she felt unsafe and wanted documentation in case I tried anything at work. Then it clicked. That woman from the store worked here. She must have noticed my employee badge in my purse or seen me in the building before. Ashley asked me to explain what actually happened. I told her everything. The wrong way down aisles, the rude comments, overhearing what she said about me. Ashley's face softened. She said, "Yeah, that sounds more believable honestly, but I need you to write it all down in an email. HR has to investigate every complaint." I barely slept for a week. My roommate kept saying I was overreacting, but she's never dealt with HR stuff. I kept imagining getting fired over 2 bottles of sauce I didn't even want, and having to explain that in job interviews. 10 days later, Ashley called me back to the conference room. She had this weird look like she was trying not to smile. "So you're completely cleared. HR reviewed everything." I felt my whole body relax. Then she said, "But there's more." HR had pulled the woman's complaint history as standard procedure. She'd filed 8 complaints in the last year and a half. Someone microwaved salmon and she reported them for creating a hostile work environment. Someone wore perfume she didn't like, reported. Someone said good morning too enthusiastically, reported. One guy got reported because his typing was too loud during a meeting. None of these people worked with her directly. She barely knew most of them. HR started noticing she was using the system to punish anyone who annoyed her even slightly. The grocery store complaint was the breaking point because it wasn't even work-related. They told her filing complaints about personal disputes outside work was inappropriate use of company resources. They also said making false statements in official complaints was a terminable offense. Going forward, any complaint she wanted to file had to be approved by her department head first. Ashley said the woman tried arguing that I really did harass her, but HR had already made their decision. They told her to handle her personal problems on her own time.